We're now at the final duel of the first round. Yeah, so are we gonna cut to the chase or waste our time on 5 minutes of bullshit again? That's pretty hypocritical of you to ask, considering you were the one who started that whole stupid tangent by claiming the name of the series is too unclear. Which, by the way, makes no sense since every single episode is just named after what decks are in it, so people are going to know what the series is all about either way. True. But speaking of names, why does it say Madolche when it should say YuGiOh? I switched decks. I mean, if Jacob can switch his deck halfway through Season 1, I should be able to before I even play it. That makes sense. It just seems like a disappointment for people who wanted to see the creepy evil little girl in action. Why would they be disappointed? There's been a creepy evil little girl in this series since episode 2! Ahaha, touche, Tom. Anyway, it's Ed and Tom versus me and Devin. Ed's first, Devin's second, Tom's third, and I'm fourth. I summon Battlin Boxer Veil. Well damn, look at that, a freaking Illustrator redesign. Oh, that is just the best. Yeah, now everyone looks nice. Sure does. Just hope Vexus Dylan II looks forward to redoing literally hundreds of character models. Anyway, if I take battle damage while he is in my hand, I can special summon him and gain life points equal to the amount of damage I took. Now since I control a Battlin Boxer monster, I can special summon Battlin Boxer Spar from my hand. I can't conduct my battle phase for the rest of the turn if I summon him this way. For the rest of the turn? What does that mean? It means I can special summon him during my main phase 2 if I attack that turn. Now I overlay Veil and Spar to Ixie summon Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. What doesn't kill him makes him stronger. Because if a Battlin Boxer monster would be destroyed, I can remove an Ixie's material from him instead. When an Ixie's material is removed from him, he gains 800 attack. I set a card and end my turn. I summon Batterymen AAA. When he, or they, is, or are summoned, I get to special summon another AAA from my hand or graveyard. I don't have any, but AAA is going to good use. I use the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark in my hand to discard himself and search for another Thunder Dragon Dark. Now since I use the effect of a Thunder monster in my hand, I contribute a Thunder monster on my field, like AAA, a special summon, from my extra deck, Thunder Dragon Colossus! My opponent can't add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them. If he would be destroyed, I can banish a Thunder monster from my graveyard instead. Oh, Devin, cheating through the fusion summoning process? I'm impressed. That summoning condition sure seems like a mistake to me. Get it? Because of the first effect? Whatever. I activate Madolche ticket. Once per turn, whenever a Madolche monster is sent from my field or graveyard to my hand or deck, I get to search for a Madolche monster. If I control a fairy-type Madolche monster, I can special summon it instead. Sadly, that mistake of a dragon limits what I can do right now. Now you know how I felt when I used my Fable deck with Necro Valley out. I summon Condemned Witch. Ordinarily, when she is normal summoned, I would get a search for a forbidden quick play spell. You mean like super rejuvenation? Not that kind of forbidden. A quick play spell that literally has the word forbidden in its name. During my opponent's main phase, I contribute Condemned Witch to special summon another level 4 fairy from my deck. I set a card and end my turn. I summon Unizombie. Once per turn, I can mill a zombie monster to increase the level of a monster by 1, but only zombie monsters can attack that turn. Once per turn, I can discard a card to increase the level of a monster on the field by 1. I use Unizombie's first effect to mill Doom King Battlin and increase his level by 1. Then I use his other effect on himself and discard Vampire Retainer. Now I activate the field spell Zombie World. Don't bother changing the background because I activate Cosmic Cyclone. By paying 1,000 life points, I get to banish a spell or trap on the field. I banish Zombie World. Alright then, I set a card and end my turn. Lead Yoke, attack Thunder Dragon Colossus. I remove Spar from Lead Yoke to prevent him from being destroyed and giving him 800 attack. I summon Batteryman 9-volt. When he is summoned, I get to search for a Batteryman. I grab Batteryman Solar. Then he gains 1,000 stats, but he's destroyed during the end phase. Before you end your main phase, I tribute Condemned Witch to special summon Madolches Puddingcessor in defense mode. I can special summon her from my hand if there are no monsters in my graveyard. And when she is special summoned, I get to special summon another Madolches monster from my deck, but its level is reduced by 1 and I can only summon Madolches that turn. Now with Puddingcessor's effect, I special summon Puddingcess in defense mode. She gains 800 attack if there are no monsters in my graveyard, and when she battles a monster, I can destroy one of my opponent's cards after damage calculations. You do realize that all you did was put up a couple of meat, or rather, cake shields, right? Yeah, but it's better than having a 100 attack monster just sitting there. I can only really benefit off of her during the first turn of a tag duel anyway, since my opponent can't run her over. Also, one of my cake shields gives me a pop if they attack it. 9-volt, attack Puddingcessor! Whenever a Madolches monster is destroyed by my opponent and sent to the graveyard, it gets shuffled into the deck. Colossus, attack Puddingcess! I use Puddingcess's effect to destroy Serena's face down. If that's how you're gonna play, I'll activate my own Cosmic Cyclone and banish Ed's face down. Wanna know the funny thing, Serena? That was a Cosmic Cyclone you just banished. Wait, so all of you had a Cosmic Cyclone set? That's right, Devin. Wow. Well, I end my turn. I summon Madolches Bufule. Ew, it's so cute, it's disgusting. When it's normal summoned, I get to special summon a Madolches monster from my hand. I special summon Madolches Hoot Cake. Once per turn, I can banish a monster from my graveyard to special summon a Madolches monster from my deck. I banish Condemned Witch to summon Madolches Puddingcessor. And with Puddingcessor's effect, I special summon Puddingcess and reduce her level by 1. And remember, she gains 800 attack since I have no monsters in my graveyard. I'm about to get dogpiled by a bunch of Strawberry Shortcake characters, aren't I? That's right, Serena. Too bad I don't have Chateau out. Puddingcess, attack Unizombie. With her effect, I'll destroy Thunder Dragon Colossus. I banish Thunder Dragon Dart to protect him. Bufule, attack her directly. Now you, Hoot Cake. Last is Puddingcessor. Is that all? Because this food fight is feeling pretty one-sided. Oh no, you had your cake, but Devin still has to eat it too. What? Sorry, it sounded clever in my head. Anyway, I overlay Hoot Cake and Bufule to Ixie summon Leviar the Sea Dragon. I don't think we've seen this guy since episode 6. Once per turn, I can remove a material from him to special summon any level 4 or lower banished monster. I remove Hoot Cake to special summon Condemned Witch in defense mode. Now I overlay Puddingcess and Puddingcessor to Ixie summon Madolche Queen Tiramisu. Oh, your dragon is so screwed, Devin. Once per turn, I can remove a material from her to shuffle up to 2 Madolche cards from my graveyard into my deck. And then I get to shuffle up to that many of my opponent's cards into the deck. And since this is part of her effect resolution, it doesn't target. Not that your dragon has target protection, thankfully. I remove Puddingcessor to shuffle in Hoot Cake and Puddingcessor. Then I shuffle back Thunder Dragon Colossus. Alright then, I activate Dark Hole, which destroys all monsters on the field. I use the effective Condemned Witch to replace herself with Hoot Cake. And I remove Veil from YuGiOh to protect him and give him 800 attack. Now with Colossus out of the way, I can use the effective Ticket. With Hoot Cake shuffling himself back in with his effect, I search for Madolche and Jelly. Glad to see you two found a way to benefit from my own card. Anyway, I use the effective Vampire Retainer in my graveyard. By sending a vampire card from my hand or field to the graveyard, I can special summon him from my graveyard, but he's banished when he leaves the field. I discard Familiar to special summon Retainer in defense mode. When Retainer is special summoned, I can pay 500 life points to search for a vampire spell or trap. I search for Vampire's Desire. Lead Yoke, attack Devin directly! Oh, this is bad, Devin. I know, Serena. I'll try to turn this around. I summon Batteryman Solar. When Solar is summoned, I get to mill a Thunder monster. Once per turn, whenever a Thunder monster is summoned, I get to special summon a Batteryman token. I mill Microcell. Then I use the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark in my hand to discard himself and search for another. Damn, I know where this is going. Well, that's only part of it, Ed. I banish 9-Volt and Microcell to special summon Batteryman Industrial Strength. I can summon him by banishing 2 Batterymen from my graveyard. Once per turn, I can banish a Thunder monster from my graveyard to destroy 1 monster and 1 spell or trap on the field. But first, I get a Batteryman token from Solar in defense mode. Looks kinda lame. Well, there isn't an actual token for a point of reference. Anyway, I tribute Solar to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus. And after all that effort I went through to get rid of it last time. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Tom, that's the last time I could summon him. Don't tell him that, Devin. We need to make him think Colossus was a threat you could bring out at any time. He's our enemy. He doesn't deserve your kindness. By the way, why didn't you tribute that token? Colossus requires a Thunder effect monster to be tributed. Well, glad to see Konami at least had some foresight when designing that thing. I use Industrial Strength's effect to banish Thunder Dragon Dark and destroy Lead Yoke and Madolche Ticket. Colossus, attack Ed directly. Industrial Strength, attack Tom directly. Well, Devin, I hope you have room for seconds. I summon Madolche and Jelly. I contribute her to special summon a Madolche monster from my deck. It can't be destroyed in battle, but gets shuffled back at the end of my next turn. I tribute her to special summon Hoot Cake in defense mode. I use his effect to banish Condemned Witch and special summon Pudding Cessor in defense mode. Then with Pudding Cessor's effect, I special summon Mufule in defense mode. Yes, I'm cake shielding again. I should have shuffled back in Pudding Cess when I used Tiramisu's effect. I activate Vampire's Desire. I can either send a monster on my field to the graveyard to special summon a vampire monster from my graveyard, or I can mill a vampire monster with a different level than a monster on my field, and that monster's level becomes the same as that vampire's. I use the mill effect to send Vampire Red Baron and make Retainers level 6. That's not the part that matters though. I tribute Retainer to summon Vampire Scarlet Scourge. When he is summoned, I can special summon a vampire monster from my graveyard by paying 1000 life points, but it can't attack that turn. I know we don't have the numbers for that, Devin, but it's not my fault Vex is still into second dropped the ball on my start of Duel Shuffle. I pay up to special summon Vampire Red Baron. Once per turn, I can pay 1000 life points to switch control of a vampire and an opponent's monster, but that's not what Red Baron's purpose is. I overlay Scourge and Red Baron to Ixie summon number 24, Dragulus the Vampiric Dragon. Once per turn, during any player's turn, I can remove a material from him to flip a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck face down. If an opponent's card effect sends him to the graveyard or banishes him, I can special summon him face down. When he's flipped face up, I get to send a card on the field to the graveyard. Dragulus, attack Ed directly. I summon Battlin Boxer Headgeared. When he is normal summoned, I get to mill a Battlin Boxer monster. Also, once per turn, he can't be destroyed in battle if he's in attack position. I mill Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. When he is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I get to add another Battlin Boxer monster from my graveyard to my hand. I add Sparer. Now I special summon 2 Sparers from my hand, one of them in defense mode. I overlay Headgeared in my attack position Sparer to Ixie summon Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer. Can't believe it took 15 episodes for this guy to finally appear. Once per turn, I can either remove one Ixie's material to flip a monster face down, which nobody does, or I can remove 2 to shuffle a face-up card on the field back into the deck. I remove Sparer and Headgeared to send back Thunder Dragon Colossus. And that's the second time he's getting bounced. I don't think so. I remove Scourge from Dragula to flip Castel face down. Pretty sure rulings state that Colossus would get shuffled back anyway, but we're just gonna pretend that isn't the case. I tribute my Batteryman token to summon Batteryman Charger. He gains 300 stats for every Thunder monster on my field. And when he is normal summoned, I get to special summon a Batteryman from my hand or deck. I special summon 9 Volt from my deck. With 9 volts effect, I search for Batteryman Fuel Cell. Now since I control at least 2 Batterymen, I can special summon him from my hand. I'm loving how all these inherent special summons have animations now. Once per turn, I contribute a Batteryman to bounce one of my opponent's cards. 9 volt, attack Spar. Fuel Cell, attack Castell. Industrial Strength, attack Mufule. Thunder Dragon Colossus, attack Pudding Cessor. And Charger, attack Ed directly. I end my turn. I banish Mufule with the effect of Hoot Cakes and special summon Madolche and Jelly from my deck. Then I activate Madolche Chateau. When it's activated, all Madolche monsters in my graveyard are shuffled into my deck. All Madolche monsters gain 500 stats. Whenever a monster in my graveyard would be returned to the deck by the effect of a Madolche monster, I can add it to my hand instead. Now I tribute Angeli to special summon Pudding Cessor. Don't you ever get tired of eating the same dessert over and over, Tom? Not in this case. With Pudding Cessor's effect, I special summon Pudding Cess. You know the instant you summon Tiramisu, Dragulus is going to make her useless, right? Oh, I'm aware of that, Serena. That's why I'm instead overlaying Pudding Cess and Pudding Cessor to Ixie summon Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle in defense mode. Once per turn, during any player's turn, I can remove an Ixie's material from her to make a Madolche monster immune to monster effects for 1 turn. Very clever, Tom. But that's not all. Once per turn, when a Madolche card is sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, I can send 2 cards from any graveyard to their owner's decks. I end my turn, which means Hoot Cake goes back to my deck. Here we go. During any standby phase when there's a field spell out, I can special summon, from my graveyard in defense mode, Doom King Ballardroach. When another zombie monster activates its effect, I can either negate the effect, or banish 1 monster on the field or graveyard. I can use each effect once per turn, and during any player's turn. Little good that does you, since you'll have to use the last material of Dragulus if you want to get that effect off. Ordinarily, you'd be right, Ed, but there is more to my turn than that. I summon Necro World Banshee. Zombie World can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. During any player's turn, I can banish her from the field or graveyard to activate Zombie World from my hand or deck. I could easily kill you guys right now, but that's no fun. I banish Banshee to activate Zombie World. But before I do this, since I use the effect of a zombie monster, I'll banish Glass Souffle with Doom King. I'll use Glass Souffle's effect on herself by removing Pudding Cessor. And now since a Madolche card was sent to the graveyard, I use their other effect to shuffle back in 2 graveyard cards. I pick Angeli and Pudding Cessor, and with the effect of Chateau, I add them to my hand instead. Alright then. Anyway, time to make your Chateau better by zombifying it. All monsters on the field and graveyards are zombie monsters, and only zombie monsters can be tribute summoned. Dragulus, attack Ed directly. You better have something good, Ed, or Devin is going to destroy you. I summon Battlin Boxer Switch Hitter. When he is normal summoned, I get to special summon a Battlin Boxer from my graveyard, but I can only special summon Battlin Boxers that turn. I special summon headgear. Doom King, negate that effect activation. I've still got a backup plan. I activate Monster Reborn, which lets me special summon a monster from any graveyard. I special summon Battlin Boxer Headgeared. Now I overlay them to Ixie summon Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. Dragulus, take the wind from his sails and flip him down by removing Red Baron. Alright, Devin, you do anything and we win. I summon Batteryman 9V. With his effect, I grab Batteryman Solar. And that's game. I banish Lead Yoke with Doom King. Crap. 9V, attack Ed for the win! That duel was a good one. Yeah, I mean, Ed and I didn't pull as much of our weight as you and Devin did, but it was fun. What are you talking about? I got Lead Yoke out first turn. It wasn't until the end when you started finally picking up the slack that my plays kept getting interrupted. Well, at least Devin and I were on top of things throughout the whole match. The difference is you just kept making the same moves over and over. Devin actually spiced things up. No pun intended. Well, it worked, didn't it? By the way, when do we get our character models updated to their Anime Studio versions? Listen to this guy. All the monsters just got updated to Illustrator models, and he's already asking for another one. You really want to have your cake and eat it too, huh? No pun intended. I just want a nose already, and I want an actual chin. Not until DSBT and Dreamscape do. Remember, we're a side series. Just enjoy having outlines while you still can.